Hey everybody, it's Jim here, and today I'm going to be troubleshooting my little practice rig of the Soldano Mini and the Harley Benton 112 cabinet. I've had this cabinet for a while. I haven't really talked about it much on the channel. I haven't really had to use it because the speaker that comes in it is a Chinese vintage 30, and the speaker in the Mesa Boogie Rectiverb is an American-made vintage 30, so I don't really ever feel the need to plug one in for the other. I feel like it's a somewhat comparable sound, but that's not what we're here for. The first thing we're going to figure out is what's going on with this amp. So, got the Gristle Master. I'm going to turn this guy on. We get power. Power's plugged in. Volume's all the way up. You can see here. We're all good. You're not connected in the back? We are. Forget the sloppy playing, but if you couldn't notice here, I'm going to turn this off. The actual problem isn't with the head itself, and the actual problem isn't with the cable. The first thing that you want to make sure of here, I've already done some of this troubleshooting on my own, and I have the solution, but you want to make sure you're using a good speaker cable for whatever cabinet you're going to be connecting it to. I like to use the Ernie Ball ones. They've lasted an extremely long time. I think I've had this specific cable for upwards of 10 years without needing to replace it. It's the little things that you should not cheap out on. And speaking of the little things, the reason why this doesn't work, let's take off the head. We'll flip it around and we'll address the cabinet itself, because the problem is actually in the cabinet. And I verified that it was the cabinet because I used the speaker from the Mesa Boogie Rectiverb with the Soldano, and I had no problems. So, first thing you notice with this cabinet is whatever adhesive they use to do the Toilex here is pretty horrible. Now, aesthetically, it doesn't really matter. This is the back of a guitar cabinet, and it's a budget cabinet. However, one thing I would recommend doing here, and we're going to do this after, I don't know if it'll be on film, I'm going to staple it all the way down because it really, really gunks up on your hands. The problem we're having here is the jack only works if you pull it out a little bit of the way, meaning the problem is the actual jack that is connecting to the speaker itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to unscrew it. Yep. And as you can see here, not exactly the highest quality of a input jack. So what we're going to be doing, a place called Mojo Tone. We were talking about them on the live stream. They make all sorts of great amps. They make a lot of amazing products, do-it-yourself stuff. They also make great components to upgrade things with. Now, I'm not here to dog on the Harley Benton because really, when you think of the cost per quality ratio here, this is a really, really difficult cabinet to beat. And I did recently see a video, well, by recently I mean in the last few months here, where somebody did a comparison of all these speaker cabinets. I will leave a link to it in the comment section down below. And what I found interesting about it was the biggest change in tone was not necessarily the wood in the cabinet or whether or not it was a closed or an open back, but really the significant differences came with the speaker itself. So long as this thing is not going to literally fall apart, which it's not, just the Toilex is coming out, it makes for a good platform to start out with, and it doesn't cost you a whole ton of money. Because some of these 1x12 cabinets start at like $800–900. You got the cash for that? That's cool. If I don't have to spend that kind of money, I'm not going to do it. So what we have here with the Mojo Tone, this is going to hook right up to it. We have a high quality switch. I believe it's a Switchcraft. And all we're going to be doing is unscrewing this guy, putting this guy in here, and then these two cables are just going to be going and connecting into the V30. And that's it. Now it's important to remember where your leads are. In this amp, the red goes left, black goes right. So all I'm going to do, reach in. There's no need to disassemble the actual cabinet itself because this is so straightforward. We're going to remove the old harness. If I can find, oh, there it is. The new harness. We're just going to go back in. Remember, red was on the left. So connect that guy. That should be good. Then on the black, same thing. That should be good. Let's go ahead and take this mount. We'll unscrew this guy. It's good to have washers on both sides. This should be a universal fit. All right, now where did that guy go? There she is. Put it on top of the little mini Soldano. Here we go. Boom. Washer on to keep things good. What I like about a mod like this is it really takes you to a different level of confidence as far as something not failing on this amp, because when you use high quality connection components and high quality components in general, it's just worth it to me. And in my experience, when I have cheaped out on those things, whether it's with guitar electronics themselves, as far as the pots, the switches more so than the pots, or anything with pedals, building them on my own, or stuff like this, I find it's better to just spend the few extra dollars. And in the case of this thing, it wasn't even $200 shipped to my door with the V30 in it. The harness was 16 bucks and like 4 or 5 bucks to ship it. You just saw, it took me 2 minutes to do this. We're going to screw this back in. We're just going to verify that it works. But I think it's well worth it to invest this little money in this. And then you still come up a decent amount up, so to speak, because the competition 1x12s are much more expensive. So let's go ahead and screw this back in. That's good. That's not going anywhere. We'll flip this guy around. And I realized at the beginning of this video, I said, we're going to be troubleshooting this. And perhaps that wasn't the best word for it because I had already done the troubleshooting. However, you do want to make sure that it's not your cable. You also want to make sure that it's not your actual head that you're using it with, because why would you just switch something for the sake of doing it? But as I told you, I have given this head a shot with the Mesa Boogie, had no problems with it that way. And also the fact that I do have multiple cables. You guys see I have too much of everything. On the back here, make sure also, just a common thing, this should be common sense. However, if it says 8 ohms and 16 ohms, use the one that matches the impedance of the cabinet you're using. In this case, this is a mono 8 ohm cabinet, so we're just going to use the 8 ohm. Flip it back around, make sure the power supply, that looks like a laptop power supply, is good. We'll plug this all the way in. I turn this on, and I should be able to play some really shitty aggressive leads. What do you know? We already have sound. Oh. There we go. And it really was as easy as that. I'm looking forward to using this more because I am selling the Mesa Boogie amp, so I'm not going to have an amp that has all sorts of crazy gain available to it. For now, it's just going to be the Marshall Class 5 and the Music Man, which still needs to go in for a repair. I have to actually schedule that, and who knows what might come in into the future, but for now, we're going to be using this guy when we want to have a little fun on the crazier side of things. That's all I have for you guys today. Just wanted to make this short and sweet. Got a lot to catch up on, but I figured might as well keep this one on topic. If you found this helpful, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Take it easy.